Welcome back to another GeekaWhat video, and as you can see, I'm reviewing a pair of headphones. Not just a pair of headphones, but a gaming headset, a surround gaming headset from Creative. This is the Creative Sound Blaster Tactic 3D Rage USB version 2. Now this is a budget oriented headset that steals some of the features from higher end options and tries to bring them down to a value standpoint. So let's cover what you get in the box. Aside from instructions and leaflets and stuff, you get a red USB 2 cable and this is really thin audio cable, and that is the first thing I wanted to start off with in this video, because this is literally shocking. See, absolutely shocking. Negatives aside, this is a 3D surround sound headset. So let's cover the technicalities of how that surround sound works, the advantages in gaming, and then we'll move on to a physical overview. Now most headsets sub $150, sub £120, use what you call virtual surround sound. So that uses two drivers, one in each ear cup, like so, and basically what it does is it synthetically generates that 3D surround sound. Now for me, I can't notice that much of a difference to physical surround sound, which is where they use several drivers in an ear cup, to virtual surround sound. The advantage of virtual surround sound means you can fit bigger drivers into here, ultimately meaning better sound quality and a better bass feedback and better bass performance. Now if we take a look at the unit itself, across the top we have a really nice and thick headband. This is a plastic headband, however it does have a metal strip inside to keep that rigidity strong and keep it nice and stiff. We've got Sound Blaster and Tactic written across the top, as you can see from the B-roll, which looks insane, and apologies that the B-roll is once again inside. As you can see, the British weather isn't really abiding for some nice outside footage. I really do like the finish that they've gone for on the top with this glossy plastic on the matte plastic. I like matte plastic. It doesn't look like crap after 4 hours, so you know, I really like that kind of compromise, if you will. And you've also got Rage written on both sides just below the line in a red colour to complement the other red accents, which I'll move on to in just a moment. The headset is of course fully size adjustable and will go up to heads like this big. So if you have a massive head, you are fine. Now, if we look at the ear cups and stuff like that, we have leatherette ear cups, and these are over ear, unless you have like ears the size of an elephant. These are lovely over ear cups. Now, if we take a look around the back, these are really quite big ear cups, if you will, or ear areas. I don't quite know how to explain these, never had to reference those in a review before. And on this side we have a glossy plastic. Now originally I was like, oh, glossy plastic, I can't stand glossy plastic, but then I realised there's actually an RGB LED underneath the glossy plastic. Then I was much more interested. We have a silver Sound Blaster logo with a red outline accent on here, once again complementing the other red elements on the headset. If we also take a look at other bits on the headset, we've got red glossy accents just above the ear cup on the rotation here, just to add another bit of a dynamic, and we have leatherette ear cups with 50mm drivers behind them. Now this uses what you call synthetic 3D, virtual 3D surround sound. So this is a surround sound headset, meaning if you're playing games such as Call of Duty, Crisis 3, Battlefield, these are going to be great because you can hear your enemies all around you and really locate where they are. And an advantage to virtual surround sound instead of physical surround sound is more expensive and uses more than one driver, so you might have 2 or 3 or even 4 different speakers and drivers in here. To replicate that surround sound means that you do ultimately have room for a bigger driver, 50mm in this case, meaning ultimately slightly better sound quality and much better bass performance. I'm not 100% on the design of the ear cups. They are warming to me, and once they're on your head you don't really see them, but they do seem a bit fat and round, and yeah, I don't know. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it's just a design sort of comment, if you will. But you have to keep in mind these are aimed at the budget kind of market. Now the leather ear cups are nice and comfortable. I do like them, and we do have some nice foam inside as well, a nice cotton kind of sheet to cover the driver to make it look a lot nicer, but that is more of an expectation nowadays than a bonus, if you will. If we take a look inside the headband, you can see we have our L and R options to show you which one is for which ear, and we also have all our certifications, serial numbers, and that kind of thing. One other thing I do wish to mention that Creative really did think out very well is the fact that the ear cups actually swivel this way. Now, you might be thinking, James, most headphones swivel. So why are you so bothered? Now this here ear cup here is the left one and this is the right one. If I put this around my neck, say that you've just finished gaming, you take it off your head, put it around your neck, great. A lot of headsets though only swivel upwards, this way, and I think, what use is that? These actually swivel downwards, allowing you to rest the ear cups on your body like this, which is just way more comfortable, and I just much prefer it. Now I did go on about the negative cable before, but it is a universal 3.5mm jack, meaning you can fit your own cable in here. Not only is that cable shoddy, it is also thin and prone to interference. You do have a USB connector, however, which you would be much more encouraged to use, and I'll get on to why now. Now, let me reference first these transparent glossy bits that I didn't originally like but then didn't mind. They actually have an LED in that can cover 16 million colours. So you can have loads of colours, and there's loads of effects in Creative's inbuilt software, in the Sound Blaster software, which deserves a special mention by itself. Sound Blaster's, Creative software, is really incredible. It allows you to EQ. It's got a full range of EQ. It allows you to do some cool stuff like surround. You can set hotkeys up for surround to turn it on and off. You can also use different presets for the EQ, allowing you to increase the bass on pop songs, and you can use their pre-made filters if you're not that into the audio yourself. You can change the colour to whatever you like. You can choose to pulsate. You can choose to play the colour to music. You can automatically optimise songs. And they actually work. You have these features that originally I thought, oh yeah, a little bit gimmicky. They work and they are great. And that is so nice to see in a product. It's a really nice software suite. It's retina optimized as well, meaning on high resolution displays, you aren't having any like jagged edges or uncolored text. It really was great. I absolutely love that option. Another thing that I love about this headset is the removable microphone. Now let me play you a bit of a microphone test, and then I'll talk more about the microphone.
This is a test of the inbuilt microphone being recorded into Audacity.
So yeah, the microphone isn't the greatest thing you've ever heard in your life. It's not going to be. But it's adequate for chats in games, for online chats, Skype, TeamSpeak, the like. And that's all you're really going to be using this for. If you're spending £50 on a headset, so $70-ish, and you're expecting to do professional voiceovers with the microphone on the headset, you may as well leave and go and find another profession. Now let's talk quickly about the controls on the headset, because they're actually quite impressive. We get an endless volume wheel, meaning you can just keep spinning it and it won't stop. And to take advantage of that volume wheel and to take advantage of the lovely tactile mute button on the other side, you are going to need to plug this in via USB. Now, USB is a much more versatile standard. It will create slightly more input lag, but nothing tangible. But it just means you're able to communicate much more data over to your computer. And having these mute buttons, which is a microphone mute button and an endless volume wheel, which does perfectly correspond in Windows, is absolutely great. GG to Creative, you did a really good job with regards to onboard controls and that kind of thing. So that pretty much wraps it up. What about sound quality though? Because that's the most important thing, right? Out of the box, for me, these lacked bass. Massively lacked bass, and I'm not that bass inclined, but I went into their software and it saved the day. Shoved the bass up, lovely bass performance. Well done, Creative. The bass performance on these 50mm drivers was as good EQ'd as it should have been out of the box, but it's all down to personal preference, and I'd much rather they give you the option. That brings me on to my next point. Having these for gaming is great. They come in at a nice value option and have some really cool features like the LEDs and the onboard controls and that kind of thing, removable microphone, that I really like. But I do think if you're going to buy this, you are going to need to use the software suite. If you're buying this as a standalone pair of headphones for something like a phone, I would highly recommend it you go somewhere else and buy something else. But if you're using it for gaming and you're on a PC or a Mac, go and grab the software because it's actually really good. And go and pick up a pair of these. So yeah, I'd highly recommend these. If you want to buy these, you can use my Amazon US and UK links down below. If you live somewhere else that isn't the UK or the US, use your common sense and just search the bloody name into Google. And I'll see you as always in the next GeekaWhat video.